Welcome parents and students to our homework review for Tuesday, December 13th, 2016. We are now on lesson 3.5. And so with this lesson, we are still multiplying fractions, but we want to see if we can simplify first before we multiply. So let's get into it so you can see what we do. All right, so here we have number 1. We have 2/5 times 6/7, okay? And so when we are getting ready to multiply, we want to see if we can simplify first by looking at the diagonal numbers. Okay, so in this case, the numerator 2 is diagonal from the denominator 7. The numerator 6 is diagonal from the denominator 5. So we want to see if we can cross divide diagonal numbers by the GCF. Okay, and so in this case, there is no greatest common factor between 2 and 7. And let me break this down so you can see what I'm saying here. So factors of, well, wait a minute. Put that. Factors of 2, we have 1 and 2. 1 times 2 gives you 2. Factors of 7, we have 1 and 7. Okay, so they do not have a common factor other than 1, obviously, that we need to divide both of them by. Okay, and so in that case, we cannot cross divide those two to simplify. 6 and 5, similar situation. Factors of 6, 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. And then factors of 5, we have 1 and 5. You see that? So they do not have common factors for us to divide by. So in this case, we leave them alone and we multiply our numerators. 2 times 6 and get 12. Then I multiply my denominators. 5 times 7 and we get 35. Okay? So in this case, we have 12 over 35. See if we can simplify it. In this case, we can't. And so that will end up being our final answer. Got it? All right. So moving right along, let's look at number 2. Now you're going to see something different with number 2. All right, and maybe I should blow this up a bit. Okay. So number 2, we have 4 over 9 times 1 over 8. Okay. And so I want to show you these lyrics that we are going over in class. Okay. It's to a track I wrote called Please Don't Do It. So in the lyrics it says, please don't doubt me because I know what's happening. Turn my mixed numbers into improper fractions. So in this case, we don't have to do that step because we don't have mixed numbers. Okay. And if we did, we would multiply my whole number to the denominator. Then I take that and add it to my numerator. Okay. But in our case, what we can do is this step here. Cross divide diagonal numbers by their GCF. Replace them with the quotient. Then I do the rest. Multiply my numerators. Then I multiply my denominators. I take that answer and I simplify it. Did it so fast that I don't know where the time went. Last step, check that my answer is accurate. Call this light work when I'm multiplying fractions. Please don't. Okay, so if you hear me reference that while we're working, then you'll know where that's coming from. So in this case, cross divide diagonal numbers by their GCF, so greatest common factor. Okay, so here diagonal numbers 4 and 8. Let's see. So we have 1 and 4 for the factors of 4. And we have 2 in itself. And then for 8, we have 1 and 8 as factors and 2 and 4. Okay, so we want to cross divide diagonal numbers by their GCF, their greatest common factor. So these two have 2 as a common factor, but they also have 4. So 4 is the greatest common factor. So I want to go here, cross divide diagonal numbers by their GCF, 4, replace them with the quotient. So the answer to 4 divided by 4 is 1. That's the quotient. The answer to 8 divided by 4 is 2. That's the quotient. Then I do the rest. Now 1 and 9, you'll notice they don't have a common factor, so you leave them as such. So multiply my numerators. 1 times 1 is 1. Then I multiply my denominators. 9 times 2 is 18. That's it. Okay? So, you can reference those lyrics to help you recall the steps. All right, let's move on to number 3. Moving right along. All right. All right, so here we have two fractions, 5 over 24 times 8 over 15. Okay? And so, again, we're thinking this out. Cross divide diagonal numbers by their GCF. Okay, so 5 and 15 are diagonal. Okay? And their factors. Factors of 5, we have 1 and 5. Factors of 15, we would have 1, 15, 3, and 5. So their GCF, greatest common factor, would be 5. Okay? You see that? So cross divide diagonal numbers by the GCF. 5 divided by 5. Replace them with the quotient, then I do the rest. 15 divided by 5. Replace them with the quotient, we get 3. Okay? And now we're looking at 8 and 24. So we have 8. We're looking at the factors of 8. We have 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. Factors of 24, we have 1 and 24 and 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4, ran out a little bit of space, and 6. So the greatest common factor would be what? 8. Yup. So we're circling 8. Okay? So we are cross divide diagonal numbers by the GCF. 8 divided by 8 gives us 1. That's the quotient. 24 divided by 8 gives us 3. That's the quotient. Replace them with the quotient, then I do the rest. Multiply my numerators, then I multiply my denominators. There we go. Alright? So that's that. Okay, moving right along. So that's number 3. Let's take a look at number 4. Okay, and let's see. Factors, anytime you have 1 as one of the diagonal numbers, there's nothing you're going to need to do to try to simplify. There will be no greatest common factor to simplify by. Okay, but we can look at 8 and 17. Okay, factors of 8, 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Factors of 17, we just have 1 and 17. Okay, so do they have common factor, greatest common factor? No. So there's nothing to cross divide by. So we multiply our numerators, then I multiply my denominators. There we go. All right. And you always check to see if you could simplify. In this case, we cannot. Okay. Cannot simplify that final answer there. 16 over 17. All right. So I think we should be good to go. Let's try number 5. Okay. So here we go. We're looking at 3 and 25, right? 1 and 3. And then for 25, we're looking at 1, 25, and 5 in itself, right? 1 times 3 gives you 3. 1 times 25 gives you 25. 5 times 5 gives you 25. Do we have anything in common there to cross divide by? Nope. Nope. All right, so we can leave 3 and 25 alone. What about 4 and 12? So factors of 4, 1 and 4. 1 times 4 gives you 4. 2 times 2 gives you 4. Factors of 12. 1 times 12 gives you 12. 2 times 6 gives you 12. 3 times 4 gives you 12. You see a greatest common factor there. What do you see? 4. Right. All right. So 4 divided by 4 gives us 1. 12 divided by 4 gives us 3. 3 times 3 gives us 9. 1 times 25 gives us 25. Double check, make sure you cannot simplify your answer. And that's it. All right. So finish the rest of this worksheet. This should be some great practice on you recalling factors, okay, and using your multiplication skills, all right, to multiply fractions. So I'll see you back in class on Wednesday. Peace.